Hey guys, Daniel here with Value Investing with Daniel. Thank you for tuning into this video. In this video, I wanted to go over Yahoo Finance, which I think is a great free resource for investors to get started in terms of looking at different companies. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the dashboard here on Yahoo Finance and why I like it. I like the fact that you have the news right here, so you get the most relevant information in terms of the daily news for investments, like in this case, Bank of Canada rate hike being taken off the table. I mean, it's fairly important news, but macroeconomic conditions, in my opinion, don't play the most important role when analyzing securities, but it's good to stay relatively up to date in terms of the overall picture. So I think for that reason that's good. You got to have your own list of securities that you're following. Now, this is not representative of my personal portfolio at all. These are just companies that I've added over time due to finding them interesting, liking to read about them. But these companies here are not really part of my personal portfolio. It's just ones that I happen to be following for whatever reason. You got to see the overall markets, how they're doing for the day. The thing that I like about Yahoo Finance in particular is if we go to a particular company, like let's just say Hershey, you get to see right off the bat a lot of the important information, like the market capitalization, the PE ratio, which is the ratio of the earnings to the current price, the dividend yield, and the one-year target estimate based off the analyst. And you can see the price history as well. Scrolling down, the good thing about it is you can see the revenue and earnings history for the past 4 years. Now, this is obviously very important information when analyzing companies, and it's good that it provides you with this nice, convenient snapshot of the earnings and the revenue history of the company. And the other thing that I really like is the fact that it gives you the sector, the industry, as well as a breakdown of the company. So this means that when you're on this page, you can see very, very quickly what the company does, what its price history is, what its market cap is, if it pays a dividend, as well as its revenue and earnings history for the last few years, as well as a brief description of the company and how it makes money and what it does. If you go to the next tab, statistics, you can see a brief snapshot of the company's valuation based off of the trailing 12 months, so things like its price to sales, as well as its trailing and forward price to earnings ratio, and some profitability metrics as well, like the profit and operating margins. This statistics page is excellent in my opinion because it gives you a snapshot of, based off the trailing 12 months, what the company's, for example, return on assets is like, what its revenue has been, what its balance sheet, the basic position in terms of its cash and debt and current ratio is, as well as just some basic operating cash flow metrics, which I think are very, very important. So when I find a company that I'm interested in, like let's just do it as a quick example, like let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Ford. Okay, we want to look at Ford. What's the first thing that we do? We look at just a snapshot of the price history. We see what the market cap is like. We see the fact that it pays a dividend. We see what its earnings, that its earnings have been positive the trailing 12 months. We see that in terms of compared to its previous 12 months, its P ratio is not unreasonable. And we can see the revenue and earnings history of the past few years. We can read very quickly about what the company does, and then go into the statistics page. We can see right away, based off this enterprise value, that it has a lot of debt. We can see that the forward PE ratio is not too high, and that the price to sales is fairly reasonable. The price to book is also a reasonable ratio here, and it delivers a fairly good return on equity over the past 12 months. So it gives you a good snapshot of how the company's doing based off the trailing 12 months. And then if you want to see a little bit more historical data, you go into financials. You can see 3-4 years back in terms of the balance sheet, income statement, and statement of cash flows. You can also see conversations and see what other people are saying. Obviously, on a big company like Ford, you got 132,000 different comments to read through. You don't have to read through all of them, but it's interesting to see what other people are saying about the company. So for that reason there, I do like Yahoo Finance a lot. I think it's a great starting point because it gives you a good condensed snapshot of how the company's doing in terms of its revenues and earnings over the past 4 years, in terms of what the company does. And it's a great starting process in the screen because it allows you to go through companies fairly quickly, especially if you can see, what companies are similar to it, how those are positioned, and what those are looking like, relative to Ford in this specific case. So I hope you found the video informative. I think Yahoo Finance is a great free resource, and I encourage you to use it. Thanks.